Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Caneo Open Space Conservation Agency to order. And if you would join me in saluting our flag. Ready to begin?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I better get my glasses so I can see what's going on here. If you would please call the roll.
Director Engler?
Here.
Director Nichols?
Yes.
Director Sullivan?
Here.
Vice Chair Newman?
Here.
Chair Huffer?
Yes. Thank you very much. Item 3, we have no presentations and announcements. Item 4, because this is a special meeting, we do not have any public comments other than on agenda items. Item 5, consent calendar, approval of minutes from the September 17th meeting and October 29th meeting. I will entertain a motion on those items.
So moved.
Thank you. And a second?
Engler.
All right. Remind me, I should know, but do we need a vote on this? No. Okay. Thank you very much. Item 6, action items.
You need a vote, just not a roll call vote.
Yes. Oh, okay. In that case, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, item 6, action items. 6A, approval of funding appropriation for palm tree removal in a defensible space zone. I will turn this over to Mr. Stark.
Yes, this action item involves 3 findings. One is to find that this action is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act under California Code of Regulations Title 14, Sections 15304I, minor alterations of land in a fuel management area. 15061B3, a common sense exemption, and under Public Resources Code Section 21080.49C, wildfire risk reduction projects. That's a mouthful. And it's also to approve an appropriation of $22,750 from the Woolsey Fire Recovery Fund allocation for the Vegetation Fuel Management Reserve for the removal of 23 Mexican fan palms from an existing COSCA weed abatement zone, and authorize COSCA's co-administrative officers or their designees to utilize the appropriation for the removal of Mexican fan palms either by directly entering into a service agreement in a form approved by COSCA's attorney or by reimbursing a partner agency for including the palms in one of their contracts. By way of brief background, COSCA undertakes annual brush clearance activities to achieve compliance with the Ventura County Fire Code requirements to ensure that homes adjacent to open space have 100 feet of defensible space. When all or a portion of 100 feet of defensible space lands on COSCA property, then COSCA undertakes this work. Brush management zones are then inspected by the fire department for compliance, and they may note specific hazards. This season, inspectors identified 23 Mexican fan palm trees located within a defensible space zone that contain dead fronds and thereby can constitute a potential fire hazard. These are located, they're visible from Lynn Road between Avenida de los Arboles and Flores. To comply with regulations, COSCA was asked to either trim the dead fronds or remove the trees. As COSCA's long-term goal is removal of all fan palms from open space, staff recommend removal of the trees rather than maintaining them. The scope of work is in the existing weed abatement contract that we have doesn't include heavy tree work of this type, so this has to be contracted separately. Funding for the removal of this group of trees was also not included in COSCA's budget for the current fiscal year. Therefore, we're recommending appropriation from the Woolsey Fire Fund. COSCA staff have determined that removal of palm trees are categorically exempt from CEQA based on that long list of sections I read out before, so I won't reread them all to you. The existing trees scheduled for removal lie within 100 feet of structures, and that's a crucial part of the CEQA exemption. It applies to all projects within 30 feet of a structure and 100 feet of a structure if the agency responsible for fire safety declares that 100 feet is necessary. And in our case, our Ventura County Fire Department has determined that 100 feet is necessary, so that fits us into that CEQA exemption. In addition, the project does not involve the removal of any healthy, mature, or scenic native trees and will not result in the taking of any endangered, rare, or threatened plant or animal species, will not result in soil erosion or sedimentation of surface waters, and the project will be undertaken outside of the bird and bat nesting seasons. Removal of the specific palms will improve ecological conditions on COSCA open space, provide added fire safety for COSCA neighbors, and ensure compliance with the fire code. With that, I will entertain any questions.
Thank you very much. Do we have questions for Mr. Stark? None down that way, down this way?
Thank you, Chair. Just a real quick clarification. I'm sure this includes it. You said removal. That also means taking them out, bringing them into the to a landfill or to a recycling area for it.
Yeah, so when we're working within the defensible space zone, we will have to remove all the biomass from those trees. So everything gets hauled off.
Thank you.
Other questions? Yes, Director Nichols.
Yeah, it just piqued my interest when they mentioned that work would be done outside of bird and bat nesting seasons. I was not aware that palms were really a preferred nesting location. Is that a typical scenario?
Yes, in fact, palms are regularly utilized. Owls, bats, so that's
Orioles.
and orioles, and probably more. But those are the big ones. So we do, any work we do on the palms, we will have to be mindful of those species.
Okay, I knew there were other critters that used them, but I didn't know that. So good. We need to redirect their natural behavior to other trees, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Director Sullivan.
I just have a comment just to say thank you to the staff for always such thorough reports on this and digging it down to things that we may not necessarily, or the public doesn't even think of, with bat nesting, bird nesting, outside of that, how the dirt, what's coming out, what's staying in, it's not affecting. So just wanted to appreciate all your efforts in providing that information to us so clearly and concisely.
Happy to do so.
Thank you. Just a quick question. I'm sure there are more than 23 Mexican fan palms around our open space. How did these 23 get selected, or were there more that might be done later, or does this get rid of everything that's within 100 feet of property?
So we have thousands of palm trees out along the open space. And we've mapped about 1,000 mature trees. And for every mature tree we have mapped, there's probably a cadre of trees underneath that we can't see. Our ultimate goal is to remove them from all of our open space areas. That is an expensive proposition, so COSCA is actively seeking grant funding to do so. And at such time as we're able to arrange some of the funding, we'll be back asking this board for some matching funds to help with that project. These were particularly pointed out to us by the fire department because they are within a fuel modification zone, and so it is our responsibility in this case to remove these trees or maintain them. But since we don't want them, I didn't see the point in expending funds to trim them and maintain them if we really want to get rid of them.
Okay. Thank you very much. If there are no further, yes, Director.
Your question about location brought up a follow-up question. There is a pending request of the federal government for $2 million for removal of about 300 palms. Is that a general request throughout COSCA open space, or are there 300 particular trees we're looking at with that request?
Our original request that went out to the federal government was for $2 million, and that was to cover palms region-wide. So that would actually have covered, about the 1,000 that we'd hope to remove. That one didn't make it through the whole system, but we will re-up the application in the next Congress. We're also have met with state and federal lobbyists that are assisting our agency in identifying funding sources for these types of things. So we anticipate preparing grants in the new year.
And I'm happy to make that request on COSCA's behalf. It's a public safety issue as well as important for open space conservation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? If not, we have Rec 3 staff recommendations. I will entertain a motion on those.
Happy to move staff recommendations.
Thank you. And a second.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Director Engler,
Yes.
Director Newman,
Aye.
Director Nichols,
Yes.
Director Sullivan,
Aye.
Chair Huffer.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much. We're moving on to item, where to go, 6B. Approval of parking agreement with Ventura County Parks Department at Santa Rosa Valley Park, Hill Canyon Trailhead. Mr. Stark?
Yes, so everybody likes free parking. This item includes a finding that this action is not a project under the California Environmental Quality Act, and I'm seeking an authorization for COSCA's co-chief administrative officers or their designee to execute a 5-year agreement between COSCA and the Ventura County Parks Department to extend free parking at Santa Rosa Valley Park to support access to the Hill Canyon Trailhead in a form approved by the COSCA attorney. Years ago, in response to parking capacity issues at the Avenida de los Arboles entrance to Wildwood, COSCA has promoted alternative access at Hill Canyon Trailhead. This has been successful at increasing usage at the Hill Canyon Trailhead, yet the limited parking available in COSCA's lot down there is still regularly exceeded. In 2020, staff evaluated options for increasing available parking in Hill Canyon. Options considered included expanding the size of COSCA's lot or accessing available parking at Santa Rosa Valley Park, which at the time charged an entry fee for use. So weekdays was a $2 charge to go in there and weekends were $4. Staff determined that because the parking lot already existed at the park and the park offered complimentary services including picnic and restroom facilities, that accessing the park was the best solution. At COSCA's board meeting on February 12, 2020, the board approved a 5-year agreement between COSCA and the Parks Department at the county to provide free public parking at Santa Rosa Valley Park just to enhance the trailhead parking. This agreement is now expired, and COSCA seeks to enter a new 5-year agreement to continue offering free public parking at this location. With the prior agreement expiring, COSCA staff recommend entering into the new agreement. The agreement will establish free public parking 7 days a week during the hours that the park is open. In exchange, COSCA will pay a fee of $8,694.56 for the first year of the 5-year agreement, with an annual increase of 3% in subsequent years. The fee is based on a continuation of the fee schedule that was established in the original agreement. That's why it's kind of an odd number. The agreement is intended to roll over in 5-year terms with the agreement of both parties. Continuing to support free public parking at Hill Canyon benefits COSCA by providing improved access to Wildwood Park while relieving the parking pressure at the Avenida de los Arboles parking lot. With that, I am available for any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stark. Questions of staff? Nothing.
Just, kind of a corollary question. I know the citizens up there near the parking lot at the end of Arboles were always concerned about the crowding there at the parking lot. At one time, there was a discussion of creating the new primary address for Hill Canyon and Wildwood Park as being down at the Hill Canyon location. Are we doing anything to direct people away from the Arboles location down to Hill Canyon?
As I understand it, we've made efforts to do so, but it's easier said than done. We can go on Google and change an address, but it doesn't change what other people put into Google. So we don't have complete control of Google's mapping system. What I can tell you, though, is that usage at the Hill Canyon area has expanded substantially. We're not we haven't received a parking complaint call from the neighbors at Arbalest probably since 2022. So we're coming up on years since we had the impacted. It was kind of after the COVID thing. Usage came kind of back to normal, and we're just not seeing the impacted parking situations. We also notice if you spend time out there, that when our parking lot does fill up, that people have habituated toward using the alternative parking down at the CRPD Park and the Wildwood Community Park parking lots. We see a lot more people just walking from there. So I think between establishing the alternative sites in that direct area and Hill Canyon, that we generally have the parking situation under control.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Director Sullivan.
Thank you. Maybe this is more a question for COSCA, the foundation. But I know in my travels, when I've gone to different parking lots at trailheads, they often have an Iron Maiden where there isn't a fee for parking, but you have the opportunity to put a few bucks into, it's essentially a metal tube, and it just, that you can't get the money out, someone has to have a key. Not that we necessarily need, that would offset this cost, but it might give park users, especially those out of the area, a way to donate, say thank you, and whether that comes to COSCA or we filter it through, it's something that the COSCA Foundation, the Canal Open Space Foundation, manages, and then they get the funds and how they, they'd be distributed back to COSCA projects. So just a thought more than a question, but I don't know if that's been considered before.
I don't know that we've considered it ourselves before, just because we haven't really considered charging anybody for parking in our trailheads before. But in order to look at that, we'd have to kind of see, try and weigh how much funding would be made versus the cost of putting it in and sending a ranger down to empty it. That sometimes these are less lucrative than they may seem. I think that was brought up at, there were numerous proposals for charging to park at the Arbalest entrance too, although none of us saw why that would help if you have free parking across the street, why anybody would pay to park in our parking lot. So I think we're doing a favor by keeping everything free for us, but we can run it by the foundation and see what they think.
And the Iron Maiden is actually very old school. I think even QR codes on the kiosks with that would take you to a donation site would, maybe prompt some people.
Thank you for that comment, Director Sullivan. I have had conversations with COSF probably as far back as 5 years ago, suggesting that a QR code for them at our various trailheads that serves the purpose just of donations might be something that they would like to pursue. So I believe that their board is aware of that. Certainly we use QR codes at the trailhead so that people can access digital copies of our trail maps. But, as you know from your involvement with COSF, they're always creative in terms of new ideas to secure donations. So I think something maybe modern like a QR code might be a nice way to go. We could take maybe an informal survey in the room and say who carries cash anymore. I don't. So, and if I don't with my gray hair, I don't know how many other people younger than me do.
It was fun to say Iron Maiden in the meeting, though.
Yeah.
Word of the day.
Dating yourself there.
I thought it was Iron Ranger.
Director Newman.
Yeah.
No comment.
Anybody else? Yes. Director Nichols.
Yeah, just a comment. I just think this is a great partnership. I know we've been doing this for a number of years, but it's good to get the county involved with this because we don't have a lot of these types of partnerships with the county, probably more in the planning phases of that, but they don't have a lot of facilities in our side of the county. So I think it's a great way to continue and to engage the county in actively participating. And it's a win-win for both agencies as well as the neighbors down there at the Hill Canyon area too. So I think it's a great way. Thanks for pursuing this.
Yeah, when we first did the project, the county was particularly interested in it because it also brings a lot more people to their park. And they have, you know, they want to know that the public is also supporting their parks. And, you know, and attendance helps them make that point.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You mentioned the signs at the Arbalest parking lot directing people, if the parking lot is full, to go to the parking area for Wildflower Playfields or for Wildwood Elementary School. I'm guessing if you added something to that sign directing people to the Santa Rosa Valley Park parking, there might not be a lot of takers for that.
Yeah, not from there, but you know, but we did push through. You know, when we first made this arrangement with the county, we did do a fair amount of social media targeted posting in areas to our north, because when we were doing the trailhead data collection at Arbalest, we were finding a lot of people were coming from, you know, Camarillo, Moore Park, and places where it would actually be closer for them to get to Paradise Falls and Wildwood if they just went to Hill Canyon. So we did do some, you know, sponsored post work and social media outreach to those communities to see if we can entice more people to enter down there.
Okay. And I'm guessing that the county does not have someone there at the parking lot who's asking people, are you here to hike the trails in Wildwood, or are you here to use our park? That we're basically paying for everybody's parking there, which is great. I think it's as Director Nichols said, it's a great partnership that we have with the county, small as it might be. So anyway, if there are no further questions, we have 2 staff recommendations. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you very much.
And Chair, can we just note that there's no public comments on this item?
Oh, there is public comments on this?
No, there is none.
Oh,
but
okay.
Just wanted to note that for the record.
Thank you. So noted. Now can we have a roll call vote?
Director Engler?
Yes.
Director Newman?
Aye.
Director Nichols?
Yes.
Director Sullivan?
Aye.
Chair Huffer.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much. We have 3 items under information items. Are these just for information, or is there any presentation on any of these? No? Okay. Thank you very much. Item 8, unless there are any questions that board members have on any of these 3 items? No? Okay, item 8,
Now,
COSCA updates.
we actually do have item 7C does have a verbal report.
Oh, don't want to
we'll
skip
invite-
ranger operations.
Play a little musical chairs here.
Just the down button or the right button?
Either one.
Hello, everybody. It's always nice to bring the excitement to this meeting. I'm always the only one in the crowd, so. So first off, some positive news. The Ranger unit is fully staffed now with the recent hiring of Brittany Schaefer. Per Supervisor Corey, she's moved in nicely and has adapted well to the team, and she seems like she will be a great success. So to start, Ranger operations. Where did the notes go? Oh. So tonight's edition of Ranger Housekeeping, we start off with Ranger Keenan here helping out with a remodel and upgrade of the Nature Center restroom flooring. Rangers take care of a lot more than just trails, trees, and troublemakers. They take a huge role in the upkeep and maintenance of everything within those park boundaries, even if it means rolling up your sleeves and drywalling an entire restroom. This quarter started out with a bit of a whiplash for the Ranger unit. First with the Jan's fire, small vegetation fire in the Los Robles open space area. Ranger units were on scene to lead the engines through trail systems, given rides to fire investigators, and close the impacted trailheads. Thanks to cooperative winds and an excellent response from the Ventura County Fire Department, the fire was quickly put out after about 2 acres of vegetation had burned. Rangers spent several days afterwards closing up fire lines to prevent new trails from forming and non-native plants from establishing. Fires and red flag weather was followed up by our rainy week, well over 5 inches throughout the town. For rangers, that means making sure all our open space and trails don't wash away. They do that with the DAMP program, fun little acronym, which basically means rangers spend a large chunk of their time checking on, cleaning, and reshaping drainage ditches. Out there, rain or shine. Just more of making things pretty and functional, cleaning out drains. And then not enough rain to stop our projects. Here we have an Eagle Scout project at Los Robles Trailhead where the scouts assisted rangers, thanks Anna, with removing an old kiosk, rebuilding and retaining a wall, and routing and painting signage and gates. Parkview Trail also got the Eagle Scout treatment with a full trail rebuild, ditch cleaning, and bridge rebuild. Then after a little bit of cooling down and drying out, rangers went back to their offerings of public interpretive programs, volunteer trail work, and creekside trash cleanup. And of course, getting back out behind some tools to clean up rain damage, overgrowth, general wear and tear, and the occasional weird abandoned vehicles. And then a last cute little picture. Vespa was taken for a muddy joyride through Wildwood Trails before being abandoned at a picnic area. And that's all I got for you tonight.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Do we have any questions for Patrick?
Yes, sir? Nothing?
It's a perfect.
Go for it.
Hopefully I'm not breaking protocol here. Do you happen to know the location of the V ditch that you shared, Patrick? The one that was cleared out?
I know where that one is.
Where's that one, Brian?
That one there is located next to the Labisco Hill open space.
Okay.
As it turns out, the responsibility for managing that was later determined to be with the homeowner, the adjacent homeowner. But it was nice to get it cleaned out. We've worked it out with the resident at the house, and in this case, they're done some vegetation trimming and just left it in the ditch. And so, our rangers always think of helping first. So they helped, and then we were able to coordinate with the homeowner, the resident, about future responsibilities.
Yes, Dr. Sullivan.
I've had opportunity to use that new pathway and bridge at Parkview with the mountain bike team, and it's so much nicer and so much safer than trying to ride the dirt up to the sidewalk on that street there. And then the other work the Rangers had done over at Parkview was that nice long fence that borders CRPD property, but it's protecting Parkview Trail, and it's eliminated a lot of the illegal trails, and they've added the signage that says this is not a legal trail. So it's much appreciation for that and closing down all the illegal trails.
Thank you. Anyone else? Nope. With the 5 inches of rain, my impression was, at least I guess no news is good news. I didn't hear of any major damage to any of the open space?
No, I updated Jim on that. To be honest, we didn't even have trees down. I was really surprised with the saturation in open space or the parks together. We really escaped some real potential damage. So yeah, we got through it good. I think just our teams between parks and COSCA doing a lot of this drainage work prior, setting up sandbags and wattles and directing water to the best place has helped a lot. We have a pretty good routine, knowing when rain's coming several days ahead, whether the rain comes or not, because you know how it works here, is they could show several days of rain and then an hour later there's none. So, but yeah, we did good.
Good. Well, kudos to your entire team for making sure that there was nothing significant happening out there. So
Thank you.
great job. Okay, moving along, the item 8 COSCA updates, either general manager or city manager, or pointing to you, Jim.
No, we don't have a lot. I would say that the COSF holiday party was, another annual really nice event, and it's great to see so many dedicated people. It's a crowded room. I think they've reached capacity there. I bet more people would come if we gave ourselves a little more elbow room. It was packed. So a lot of open space lovers out there. So that was a neat thing. And of course, I guess thanks and congratulations again to the mayor on a great year, and it was a nice event yesterday and last night. So, thanks.
Thank you. For comments, I will start to my right. Former mayor, Director Newman.
Now just hey you. Just as an information item, I wanted to put on COSCA's radar that there's a possible hearing February 12th of the Ventura County Planning Commission for possible expansion of the Pacific Rock quarry/mine to extend its current operations on the side of the Kineo Grade quite a bit up to what would border COSCA line, what would border MRCA line, what would be within about 1,300 feet of homes in Dos Vientos. So it's a pretty significant expansion. I understand it's a complex application. There's a lot of environmental concerns around quarries and mines and preventing dust and overflow and that sort of thing. For that reason, because it's so complex, the hearing may or may not be on February 12th. It may be after that, but given that this is the last meeting before that date, before COSCA meets again, I wanted to just bring it to the board as an information item.
Thank you very much. Director Sullivan.
I also have an information item that I think most of the people in the room are aware of. The county supervisor's office is going to be hosting a bike safety day at Redwood Middle School, working with Ventura County Sheriff's Department, TOPD. COSCA has actually been invited to have a booth there. They are going to be focusing on e-bike safety and trying to educate our residents and parents. I believe we're having a meeting on Friday to discuss more. There should be some fun family activities as well to draw people in so they're not just coming to get lectured. But that is on January 24th from 10 to 1 at Redwood. So again, prior to our next meeting, wanted to put that on everyone's radar.
Thank you very much. Director Nichols.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple of items. First, just want to let the group know that I'm currently a member of the Ventura County Parks Advisory Committee, appointed by Supervisor Gorell. And as much as I thought I knew about the county park system, I knew very little compared to what I thought I knew. So I've kind of self-educated, but also got a nice orientation from the staff there. And for those of you that don't know, this was new to me. The county has basically been trying to push off a lot of these park facilities just because they don't have the revenue to support it. I think the Parks Department gets a whopping $300,000 a year from the general fund to support their operations. So they've been directing their efforts to facilities and parks that are revenue driven. And so a lot of that has to do with camping, which is why you see a lot of those going that direction. And they're actually working with Caltrans and another facility along the Rincon to transition the site there into a place that they can use for camping. So that's how they support their organization, is by revenue. This little token amount that we just talked about earlier tonight is probably not but a little drop in the bucket compared to what they need to run their organization. And it's not that big of an organization. They don't have that many staff there. They have hosts and things like that kind of maintain some of their facilities. But they do what they can, and so that's why, like I said, I think it'd be great to continue to find ways to partner with them. But as I mentioned, there's not a lot of those facilities they have in the East County. It's mostly in some of the other parts of the county. I know there is the one location between Moore Park and Simi. So at any opportunities we can find to work with them, I'm sure they'd be happy to do so. And then the second thing I wanted to mention, just as I just have to poke fun at our general manager here just a little bit. Being a registered professional forester, I was just a little bit taken aback by the gift given to Mr. Stark Friday night at the Open Space Foundation. I've always prided myself in being very conservation-minded as a forester, but I did want to offer some additional books for Mr. Stark. I know it's going to take a while to get through the book that he received as a gift, but I have one here called The Firestorm at Peshtigo, which I would highly recommend. And these are all from my personal library. I don't have a loaning system, but if any of these sound interesting, let me know. Fire, Chaparral, and Survival in Southern California by Richard Halsey. And then we have America's Fires by Stephen Pine, and he's teaches over in Arizona. He's a professor there. San Francisco is Burning. This is one of my favorites. It's not a wildland fire, but some of the lessons learned there are so apropos to wildland fire. It is amazing. Planning for Wildfire. Good. Right here. And then this one here, which I may or may not have had a role in putting together, is called Firewise Communities, Where We Live Now and How We Live. This was prepared by the Firewise Communities. It's been a few years since they did that, but also has good pictures as well. So this might be a good transition from the Lorax, to have the book with a few pictures, and then some of these that are more text-driven. But if any of these might be helpful in your newfound role as our fire liaison with the fire department and the community, I'd be happy to loan any of these to you.
I certainly appreciate it. It might take me a few months to get through the Lorax, but
that's what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
Lots of good pictures.
yes, but I'm grateful for the honor of receiving the Lorax Award.
I guess you and I have different private libraries. None of those books ever come close to making it into my library. So, and just your comment about the county, it does emphasize the advantages for Recreation and Parks being a agency separate from the parent agency. So thank you for serving on that committee and providing a liaison. So newly selected Mayor Pro Tem, Director Engler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I could contribute some of my textbooks, my fire technology textbooks, if you'd like. But no, I spoke enough last meeting. I think I'll just leave it at that.
All right, thank you. I want to add my thanks to what Jim already said, that the foundation holiday party was really nice. Would be nice if we could find a somewhat larger space, because it is amazing. Not just people who are vaguely aware of what's going on with Conejo Open Space, but are so actively, enthusiastically supportive of that. To have that number of people showing up you know, the last several years that I've been there is very heartening. So pass along our thanks to the foundation for organizing that. If there are no further board comments, we do not have need for a closed session. I do want to apologize to the youngest audience member back there that since this is a special meeting, we unfortunately do not have an opportunity for public comments, so apologies. And with that, we will adjourn until the next regular meeting, February 18th, 2026.
Next year.